What up, Dokkaners? Over 60 Dragon Stones are going to be coming up with the arrival of the 2 5-year LR EZAs. In fact, we're going to be earning more than 60 because 33 stones come from this, 33 stones come from the Vegito EZA, and we also have their respective burst mode events. So that's 9 stones here, 9 stones there. So actually, over 80 stones will be dropping with the arrival of 2 of the most hype LR EZAs to ever drop on Dokkan. So without further ado, let's jump in, talk about hidden potential builds, talk about the EZA builds, what they do, talk about team recommendations for the event to get you guys prepared for the upcoming, I guess this is like part 2 of part 3, kind of doing like an Attack on Titan kind of thing. So let's jump in and talk about these 2 guys. Now, let me start off by telling you their EZAs are basically identical all the way down until maybe like 2 lines of passives in their transformed state. So instead of reading this just, you know, over and over and over, I'm instead going to present everything in a little bit easier fashion, all of it like this. So this might be an easier way to visualize how similar these 2 characters are. For more context, this is what their base form does. It's exactly the same. Everything that's in this that's in common, it's in white text. So all of this is common. It's white text. When we transform though, super attack, active skill, passive skills are all the same except for the final 2 lines. That's where we differ. But these 2 differences are major and it completely changes the dimensions for how these 2 units should be built. So let's jump in. Let's take a look at what their EZAs do. Then we'll talk about the actual event. Actually, let me pull up their event details so we can talk about that as well. All right. So base Gogeta Vegito, both raise attack on their 18k and 12k supers. Both temporarily raise defense for the turn. Both cause Colossal, Mega Colossal. Attack and defense plus 140. Key plus 4 when attacking. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack as the first or second attacker in a turn. Launches an additional super attack and great chance to dodge in slot 3. So once again, there is some sort of a function on every single slot on the team, which is good. This is becoming an increasingly more effective mechanic that units have. I feel like Yajirobe sort of ushered in that new era of slot 3 units having a real purpose. Plus an additional defense plus 100 when attacking. That's good to have since you're not permanently raising defense. Transforms when conditions are met. Turn 4, from the start of battle, you transform into Gogeta or Vegito. So base form, basically the goal is to stack as much as possible so you can carry over all of that residual attack into your transformed state. When you get to Gogeta and Vegito Blue, their super attacks are identical. 12 key greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, causes Colossal. For the 18 key, greatly raises defense for 3 turns, causes Mega Colossal damage to the enemy. Active skill, greatly raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage to the enemy. Is that actually what it is? Or is there more to it? Let me check. Active skill. Where's the active skill? Oh, wait. We got to transform into blue. All right, let's go to blue. Greatly raises attack. Yeah, that's what it does. I thought it would raise defense. I don't know why I thought that. All right. So greatly raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage. This can only be done when the enemy is below 50% health. A single target below 50% health. So this is basically like a finisher. When the guy's, you know, on the verge of getting taken out, you can take him out in a fancy, you know, animation style finish. So that is the active skill. Now for the passive. I'm going to read everything that they have in common first, and then we will take a look at what they differ on. Evades enemy's attack for 1 turn after transforming. This alone is ridiculous. So this is like the Ultra Instinct Goku Int Dokkan Festival EZA, only now the unit is actually much more worth running. So that is insane. Attack and defense plus 150 for both. Key plus 7 launches an additional super attack, has a great chance of dodging in slot 3. So this is the same exact passive as the base form. Only difference is that you now have an extra key plus 7, which is ridiculous. Plus an additional key plus 1 up to 5, attack and defense plus 22 up to 88 with each attack performed. This is, in my opinion, probably the best new update to the EZA, because the base form, the pre-ZA, you had the ability to gain stats. It was slower increments, but it could only be done in slot 1 and 2. That was the restriction for this stat growth. So if you wanted to put them in slot 3 and gain the dodge, you sacrificed stat progression. If you want a stat progression, you sacrifice dodge. Now, you don't get to sacrifice either one. You could do them both in the same position. So this is actually what got my Gogeta killed in a short that I posted about a week or 2 ago. You might have noticed why, you might have been wondering, like, why did Toon put his Gogeta in harm's way and get killed by Frieza? It's because I was trying to build his stats by putting him in slot 1 or 2, and he just so happened to get murdered by Frieza. So that EZA is absolutely a fantastic update, making this much better. I'm really happy about that one. And then we've got key plus 5 as the first or second attacker in a turn. This is where the similarities end. Now let's take a look at the key differences. So if we go to Gogeta Blue here, what does Gogeta Blue do in the first or second slot? Key plus 5 launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. Attacks effective against all types as the first or second attacker in a turn. The Vegito, Ki +5 launches an additional super attack and medium chance of launching another additional super attack as the first or second attacker in a turn. Vegito gets the combos with multiple supers. Gogeta gets the promise of possible additional supers, but mainly gets the attack effective against all types. So the way I visualize this is that Gogeta becomes the sniper, the piercer in terms of like focused damage, whereas Vegito becomes the combo expert. And then if we look at the active skill, so down here, when activating the active skill or when Ki is 24, Vegito launches another super attack, whereas Gogeta performs a guaranteed critical hit. So again, it furthers that narrative that Gogeta is the precision, the piercing damager, the sniper specialist, and the Vegito is the combo expert. So how do you build their hit potential? Knowing that information, how do you build? Well, basically, in my opinion, you just build the other thing that they don't have. So what Vegito lacks is what Gogeta possesses. What Gogeta lacks is what Vegito possesses. So the combo expert gains piercing damage, and the piercing damager gains combo. So that's why I'm going to give max additional to Gogeta. I'm going to give max critical to Vegito. Now keep in mind that there's also going to be the anniversary challenge event that's going to be dropping during part 3. It's not listed in the Dokkan campaign details on the wiki, so I have to go find it myself. But this is going to be dropping in just a few days. So when that drops, you will be able to run through and take on all the different, characters from the various anniversaries. Once you clear the missions on stage 5, you will earn some very powerful equips for this. Now, according to this, you will only be gaining additionals. Actually, wait, that's the wrong one. You'll be getting additionals in the gold slot and criticals in the silver slot. I don't exactly know how this gets distributed, but even if that's the case, you are getting insane defense on each skill orb, 800 plus 400 plus 600. You're getting 6 critical and 6 additional, which is pretty nuts. So if you don't have a combo skill orb that you would like to give to these characters, these will be more than sufficient. So the main focal point of your customization will be in your base hit potential build, which is where I think you should focus on critical for Vegito and focus on max additional for the Gogeta. So let me know in the comments if you guys have any differing opinions on this. In terms of secondary stats, like where do you put the hit potential after max additional? I would say go to dodge for the Gogeta, and for the Vegito, go dodge as well. Unless you want to do additional, you could throw in more additional. Why not? Throw some more additional in there. So yeah, max critical, balance additional. And for Gogeta, max additional, balance dodge is what I would suggest. So let me know in the comments if you guys agree, disagree with those takes. So now let's take a look at the actual event details. Now keep in mind, folks, these are incredibly hype units, but the EZAs are LR EZAs. They are more concentrated and they are much more difficult and they are much more unforgiving as you progress. So you will find yourselves much sooner struggling with certain units rather than not. So this is not the typical TUR event progression. This is the LR one, more focused, 3 stones per stage, 10 stages, 30 stones plus 3 from the clearing stage 7-1. So 33 Dragon Stones. You want to bring type advantage, obviously. You want to be bringing LRs, obviously, because for the LR EZAs, the weakness is not the category. The weakness is the legendary power link. That is what catalyzes the extra damage. How do you do this? You literally have 2 LRs attack adjacent to one another. They don't have to pick, they don't have to be on the appropriate categories. They simply just have to exist and attack adjacent to one another. By triggering that legendary power link, you will get the extra damage. The only thing is, though, if you don't have the Pure Saiyans category for Gogeta or the Realm of Gods category for the Vegito, you will take a lot of damage. These events do get pretty tough by stage 7, 8, 9, 10, probably even early on, depending on your level of experience in the game. So in terms of how you prepare for this, I can't really suggest, all the different teams because there are just so many teams to go through. So what I'm instead going to do is basically warn you that the more LRs that you have in that category, the better off you are going to be. The event will go faster for you, the event will be easier for you, and you will have less risk of backlash. You'll have less risk of retaliation. So, for example, if we're looking at the Vegito one here, the Realm of Gods category is a little bit less focused than the Pure Saiyans one. The Pure Saiyans one is just a jungle. I mean, you've just got a billion characters with a billion leader skills. So all you really have to do is find a good leader skill. Even if it's not 200%, a 130% will do. Maybe even a 100% or 120, maybe even 77 if you're really, really challenging yourself. Those should suffice as long as you have ample numbers of Realm of Gods characters on the team. If you don't have enough LRs, at least bring enough type advantage units. So for example, if we're going to be putting together a Realm of Gods team, let's filter out Realm of Gods right now. Realm of Gods, let's look at the LRs. I obviously have a bunch of LRs. So let's first start by finding the leader skill. Let's say I don't have the Resurrection F Blues up at the top here. This is the best leader skill for Realm of Gods. If I don't have that, I'm going to go with Autonomous Ultra Instinct. This guy has type advantage. He leads at 160%, and he is a pure Realm of Gods lead. There's no added cross-section category that we have to worry about. So now let's just find what we can get. Let's go to Int, and let's find some good LRs and TURs. All right, so the good news is I have God Goku, and I have Royal Blue Vegeta. Why? Because I summoned on the 8-year anniversary banner, I pulled Royal Blue. I have God Goku from his EZA whenever we got that during Sand Day. So with these two LRs, I have my main attack force set up. That's not obviously going to be enough to make the event go by quickly, but it will definitely make things a lot easier once these two are together. So then in the meantime, my next goal is preservation. If I don't have enough LRs to do extra damage, let me at least do the next best thing by bringing some supports, bringing some dodging, bringing some damage reduction, bringing some type advantage. Let's just say I have this blue Vegeta. Let's also say that I have the Whis. But after that, I don't have any more Int Realm of Gods characters. I'm fresh out. So what am I going to do? What am I going to be looking for here? I got to find somebody who's on Realm of Gods who will not take as much damage, who could either have dodge or some sort of damage reduction. So what I want to make sure you guys are aware of, if you're new players, is that there is this thing called the skill effect link on the right side of the category filter. This is obviously a tip for new players. If you're veteran Dokkanners, you already know this. But if you go to skill effect filter, you can actually look for those specific things that you want to find. Let's say, for example, we're looking for a damage reducing character on Realm of Gods. Damage reduction takes place in the passive, so you want to select passive, and you want to find damage reduction, which is on the right side here. You click that. Now we are going to be looking for a Realm of Gods character with some semblance of damage reduction. What are we going to find? We are going to find Int Zamasu. Int Zamasu has type advantage. Int Zamasu has 40% damage reduction. He would actually be great on the team. And boom, there is my Realm of Gods team for the Vegito event. Yeah, we're lacking on the legendary firepower, but what we lack in that, we make up for in consistent type and damage reduction and overall protection against the event. So if the event does go the distance, we have a much better shot at survival. But I will say, like I said before, the later on you go in the fight, the more unforgiving it becomes. It will be much tougher on stage 10 to get by with this sort of a team because the Vegeta will be doing a lot more damage. You might not necessarily have enough health or whatever left over to survive the onslaught. So the more LRs you have, the better. And if you want to be a little bit more daring, let's just say you don't have the blue Vegeta, maybe you don't even have the Zamasu, you just need 2 more LRs. Well, let's just look for Realm of Gods who have some sort of dodge maybe. Let's look for a dodge. Is there evasion? All right, evasion, passive. Let's look for something. Okay, so we've got a few Realm of Gods that can do that, but if we don't even have Realm of Gods here, what do we get? Well, these units have some form of dodging. Oh yeah, Pycon can dodge. We could throw Pycon on the team. If he picks up a Rainbow Key Sphere, he can dodge. So that could be useful. Jocko is there. You could even throw in, oh yeah, Chilai. Chilai would be great for this. I don't know, many of you guys may have the character, but if you do have Chilai, she's a great dodge specialist for this event. Janemba would work. He also has guard. So there are other ways to sort this out to fill out the roster. So try to, try to assemble the team the best you can. In terms of Realm of Gods, there are a few nice leader skills. Resurrection of Blues works. LR Ultra Instinct works. Zamasu even works. Yeah, he doesn't have type advantage, but he will be fine. He's not going to get you in trouble as much as you may think. Also, Beerus gains extra stats against Realm of Gods characters, so he can also be a little bit more effective than you might expect because you're fighting a Realm of Gods category enemy. All attacks are effective against all types, so that will be very useful. So that covers the Vegito side. In terms of teams, there's not really much more to say. Here, I'll throw you one last team out here. So let's do Beerus. So let's do Realm of Gods and Siblings Bond. All right, there we go. So Beerus is the lead. EZA didn't drop on global yet, but we also have Whis. We've got the LRB Wii. We've got Royal Blue, and we've got oh, that's it. Okay, so now we'll extend out of Siblings Bond and just do Realm of Gods. Let's throw on Autonomous Ultra Instinct. He was on the 8-year anniversary. So were the 7-year LRs. So there you go. That's our team. Have at you. All right, now let's move on to the Gogeta EZA. Same exact thing. Pure Saiyans now is the key difference. Since he's STR, bring AGLs primarily. Bring LRs if you can. If you don't, well, just bring AGLs in general. Pure Saiyans, tons of leads. Royal Blue Vegeta, Super Vegeta, Transforming Vegeta, LR God Goku, Prime Battle Vegeta. There are so many choices that it's honestly kind of overwhelming. So in terms of the free-to-play side, I think I'm gonna have a pretty good time taking on the free-to-play stage on this event. I think it's gonna be pretty tough on this one because Realm of Gods, we don't have too many LRs that are free-to-play. But on the Gogeta side, it should be pretty straightforward. So let's put together a few sample teams. Royal Blue Vegeta. All right, then let's go to LR Pure Saiyans. Boom, 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 boom. Done. If you don't have KFC, maybe you summon on the 8 year, you have the LR gods. Boom, there you go. There's your team. You're done. If you have a 200% leader skill, you could run like Kai Goku. Bring all the Gokus that you can because they all fit turtle schools. So you can't bring the same name update units. You can't do that. God Goku here. Super Saiyan or Kaioken Goku there. Autonomous Ultra Instinct there. And there you go. Done. If you don't have a bunch of LRs, you just have 2. Let's assume you only have 2. So let's have the Super Vegeta be our lead here. He doesn't have type advantage, but he is a pure Saiyan. Where are you, Super Vegeta? All right, Super Vegeta is there. Let's put together 2 more LRs. Let's bring the 7-year gods and the 7-year monkey. Not the best type advantage, but it'll have to do, right? So those 2 are your main LRs. At this point, let's find some AGL pure Saiyans. Who are some good pure Saiyans? This guy has damage reduction, so he will help alongside the fact that he has type advantage, so he will be good. You also have a blue Kaioken Goku, or just a blue Goku, who gets increasingly more powerful the more stacks that he gains, but he does sacrifice some health. He could work on the team. You could bring some units with some level of dodge. Maybe you have Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla. Caulifla has the ability to dodge and counter. Actually, just countering, no dodge. The dodge is actually the STR version, so you could bring that. You could bring God Goku. You could bring, I mean, anybody. I mean, the options are endless. This is why, in terms of team build, suggestions, there's just too many to cover. There's just that many. All I recommend is that you focus more on bringing as many LRs that you can, then prioritize type advantage, then prioritize different perks. If at a certain point you find yourself super desperate and you need some sort of damage reduction or protection, use the filter system. Use damage reduction here, find something. Use guard, find something. You will surely find something that will help you. Or even just use dodge. Let's go to evasion down here. There you go. Evasion. You should have some nice free-to-play, or not free-to-play, but pure Saiyans that can get the job done. Unfortunately, the Caulifla trick does not work here because Gogeta and Vegeta are not pure Saiyans. So remember, these events do get tough. It is going to be fun to farm these guys out and get them easy aid, but it will be a challenge if you don't have too many LRs or if you don't have too many appropriate pure Saiyans characters. So get ready. It's going to be a fight. I will be going live on the channel when these 2 easy A's drop, so look out for that because it's going to be awesome. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, what hidden potential build do you recommend for these 2 monumental easy A's? What teams do you have ready for these 2 events? And is there anything else that you would like to add to get people ready and psyched for these upcoming gargantuan easy A's? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let each know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.